Greetings everybody and welcome to Madrid Ball. Hope you all are safe in this turbulent pandemic phase that we all are going through. But it's time now to be excited. Light up because the Champions League is here and we are the kings of this competition. So naturally today we are going to do the match preview of Real Madrid versus Shakhtar Donetsk. So let's get started. Firstly, coming to a few facts ahead of the match, Real Madrid will get the Champions League campaign underway, playing their first match at home at the Alfredo Di Stefano. The two teams have faced each other twice. It was in the 2016 Champions League campaign. Of course, that year we went on to win the Champions League, and in the last match that these two sides met, it ended in a 7-goal thriller, with Madrid edging out Shakhtar thanks to goals from Cristiano, Modric and Carvajal. Also here, the squad list for tomorrow's match is out. In the defense, we still will be without Odriozola and Carvajal, but one major omission, as you can see here, is Sergio Ramos. Ramos, as we know, was taken off in the match against Cadiz. Zidane was asked for some injury update on the captain, to which he responded saying that Ramos did not train today. We don't want to risk anything. We will see if he trains tomorrow. It does seem like the exclusion of Ramos is more of a precautionary measure. Earlier, we had some sources which had suggested that Ramos will be ready and fit for the El Clasico, and now we have to wait and see how the injury of Ramos evolves. At the moment, I am not much worried about it. It looks like a minor knock, and I am hopeful to see Ramos back very, very soon. But continuing with what Zidane had to say in the pre-match interview, Zidane was asked whether we can see some rotations ahead of the El Clasico, but here Zidane dismissed the notion saying, "We are only focusing on tomorrow's match. The other matches will then come, but the only game we are preparing for right now is tomorrow's. I know that many Shakhtar Donetsk players cannot play in this match, but that doesn't change anything for us. They are competitive and will come here with the players they have in their deep squad. We just have to be prepared for this. We want to start this competition well. Many teams are fighting to win the Champions League and we will do the same." On the Cadiz defeat, Zidane further said, "Sometimes there are matches that don't go how you want and you have to move on to the next game. The good thing is that there are matches every 3 days and we can work to change the dynamics in tomorrow's game. There's always criticism when you lose, but we are just focused on what we can do. We are working hard every day. We are together. We'll fight for all that is ahead to make our fans proud." So we see how Zidane here is trying to create some positive vibe among the fan base, and we need it right now. We need to have some positivity around, and we have to leave the ghosts of the past behind and focus on the next challenge. Focus on one game at a time. In the same interview, Zidane was also asked about how the style of football has changed, how teams that are more physical and press high have won the last 2 Champions League. Zizou offered his thoughts saying, "You're right, football has changed physically. There's really high intensity nowadays. You have to train well and be very prepared to have that high intensity, and that's what we are trying to do. I'm a believer in that, in going for the match and pressing high. There's another style of play that is about playing deeper and waiting, but that's not mine." So definitely, football has evolved. I do agree with these words. You need to put in that extra bit of effort. You need to make that extra bit of preparation to be at your peak when it comes to maintaining the right physical levels. And we have seen in the past 2 years, Liverpool and Bayern have shown us some high-intensity football, high pressing, and a good brand of football, and rightfully, they have won the silverware that all European giants crave for. Moving on now, we need to see a response from our players, from the coach. We should get a good response from our players tomorrow. Hopefully, the players have been self-critical and have learnt a few lessons from the previous defeat, and now we need to build some momentum ahead of the El Clasico. We need to see some goals and kick off the Champions League campaign in style, and definitely, we can expect a good performance from our players tomorrow. We have seen in the past that although we were inconsistent in the league, we have somehow managed to up our game, step up in the big Champions League nights, and we have got the results previously. Real do have the tendency to perform well in the competition, and we should expect Real to show a good display at home against a side which would be without a number of their first team players. They would be out due to being tested positive for the virus. I feel that we will get a good response tomorrow. We have to start with a win here. The next 2 matches in the Champions League will be tough. We will be travelling to Germany to face Mönchengladbach, and then we will have Inter at home. Both the games are a bit tricky. So tomorrow, we need to be in the right frame of mind and exhibit a better brand of football. Get the result, and then focus on the El Clasico. Coming to the expected lineup, certainly we shall see the return of Casemiro in the lineup. In place of Ramos, Eder Militao should slot in, and Mendy should return in the starting lineup to replace Marcelo. There's a good chance that we will see Valverde instead of Modric in the starting lineup. Modric looked a bit tired the other day, and we may see him get some rest. And up front, for a change today, I am going to make a bold prediction here. Up top, we shall see Asensio, Vinicius, and Jovic as a number 9. There can also be a chance of Rodrigo starting instead of Vinicius. He hasn't been given many minutes this season, so we may see him starting. And now finally, coming to the scoreline predictions. I expect Real to bounce back to winning ways in this match, and hence I predict Real Madrid 2, Shakhtar 0. So that is all we have here in the match preview. What scoreline are you predicting, and what are your expectations for this match? Let me know in the comment section below. I will see you soon for the post-match analysis of this tie. Till then, take care, and as always, Hala Madrid. Yeah.